Selamat siang Bapak Ibu sekalian, salam sehat bagi kita semua. Perkenalkan, saya Barnabas, Market Launcher dari Engage Rocket Indonesia. Terima kasih banyak atas partisipasi dan kehadiran Bapak Ibu sekalian pada Engage Rocket webinar kali ini. Tema webinar kita kali ini adalah Building Organizational Success from Employee Experience to Customer Experience, yang mana kita akan banyak membahas terkait dengan impact dari employee experience terhadap customer experience dan juga pengaruhnya kepada kesuksesan organisasi dan perusahaan. Webinar kali ini akan dibawakan oleh beberapa panelis, diantaranya adalah Pak Yoris Bastian, yang merupakan co-founder dari Inspigo dan founder dari OMG Consulting. Juga ada Pak Kus Hartanto Kuswiranto, selaku Presiden Komisaris PT Asuransi Tugu Pratama Indonesia Terbuka, dan juga ada Miss Manisha Busal, selaku Director Head of Customer Experience dari JDID. Oke, selama webinar ini berlangsung, apabila Bapak Ibu ingin mengajukan pertanyaan, bisa langsung dituliskan pada kolom Q&A pada layar Bapak Ibu sekalian. Dan Bapak Ibu juga bisa melakukan upvote pada pertanyaan yang menarik dengan memberikan thumbs up pada pertanyaan tersebut. Juga sedikit introduction mengenai Engage Rocket. Kami adalah perusahaan teknologi yang bergerak di bidang people analytics, di mana kami juga memiliki visi untuk menciptakan dunia bekerja, di mana karyawan dapat terus berkembang dan juga membantu organisasi dan perusahaan agar dapat berhasil. Engage Rocket sendiri, kita memiliki platform employee experience yang memiliki pertumbuhan tercepat di Asia Pasifik. Dan juga platform employee experience dari Engage Rocket dapat membantu para pemimpin, khususnya para HR leader, dalam mendiagnosis masalah pada karyawan dengan cepat, akurat, juga dapat membantu untuk mengambil tindakan yang efektif dan tepat waktu agar organisasi dapat secara proaktif menjaga tim dan perusahaan dapat menjaga karyawan-karyawan agar tetap termotivasi dan juga produktif. Oke, pada webinar kali ini juga kami ingin mengucapkan banyak terima kasih kepada Inclusive Human Resource Indonesia, Komunitas Praktisi HR Indonesia, Manajemen MSDM Net, Rumah MSDM, dan juga Future HR atas dukungan dan support yang telah diberikan untuk mensukseskan acara webinar ini. Oke, dan hari ini juga kita mendapatkan penawaran menarik dari Rumah MSDM berupa satu set buku kumpulan Kulgram Rumah MSDM yang berisikan 4 seri buku yang dibuat oleh lebih dari 34 praktisi HR dengan puluhan topik HR menarik. Harga retail yang diberikan untuk satu set buku ini adalah sebesar Rp350.000, dan khusus untuk event webinar kali ini bisa mendapatkan harga spesial, di mana harga yang akan dijual hanyalah sebesar Rp230.000 plus ongkir. Oke, dan juga selanjutnya dari Engage Rocket kami juga akan memberikan penawaran spesial kepada Bapak Ibu yang mendaftarkan diri untuk mendapatkan konsultasi gratis dengan Engage Rocket dalam rangka meningkatkan employee experience di perusahaan dan organisasi Bapak Ibu. Di mana penawaran ini berupa sesi khusus, berupa paduan selama 45 menit tentang bagaimana employee experience dapat meningkatkan customer experience, dan juga memberikan diagnostik dari employee experience yang sudah ada di perusahaan Bapak Ibu, juga beserta dengan paduan mengenai langkah selanjutnya, dan kita akan bantu untuk melakukan analisis ROI-nya. Juga dapatkan kesempatan untuk memenangkan satu buah set buku kumpulan Kulgram Rumah MSDM nantinya yang akan kita pilih secara acak dari Bapak Ibu yang sudah meregistrasi pada special offer kali ini. Oke, tanpa menunda waktu lebih lama lagi, saya akan persilahkan kepada moderator kita, Bapak Audi Lubantorwan, yang merupakan Country Managing Director Engage Rocket Indonesia, untuk mulai sesi hari ini. Over to you, Pak Audi.
Terima kasih Barnabas, terima kasih atas perkenalannya. Selamat siang Bapak Ibu semua, terima kasih sudah bergabung bersama Engage Rocket dalam kesempatan yang istimewa ini. Ini adalah webinar yang pertama dilakukan oleh Engage Rocket di awal tahun 2022, dan pada kesempatan ini kami menghadirkan pembicara dan panelis-panelis yang memang sudah ahli dan mahir di bidangnya. Kita ada 4 tiga orang pembicara yang sudah kami persiapkan untuk Bapak Ibu, memasuki tahun 2022 ini yang katanya diprediksikan menjadi tahun pemulihan. Ya, baiklah, Bapak Ibu, sekarang pada kesempatan ini saya mau memperkenalkan seorang pembicara yang pertama. Kita namakan beliau adalah Ibu ya, satu-satunya perempuan di antara semua pembicara, Ibu Manesa Busal. Beliau adalah Director dari Customer Experience yang saat ini bekerja di JDID. Pengalaman beliau luar biasa, ya, dimulai dengan karir sebagai software engineer, dan beliau sekarang sudah menjadi di Business School, ya. Dengan pengalaman beliau menjadi hal penting bagaimana menjadi strategi dari perusahaan. So, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce and also invite Ibu Manesa. Are you there, Ibu Manesa?
Halo.
Halo, Ibu Manesa. Selamat siang.
Selamat siang, Pak.
Ya. Okay, the stage is yours, Ibu Manesa.
Thank you very much, Pak. I'll just share my screen, Pak, yeah? Okay. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Manisha. I work with JDID, and it's my honor to be here to share my bit of my insights and my experience of how employee experience can be used to improve the customer experience and vice versa. So first thing, before I start, I wanted to quote from Stephen Covey. It's one of my favorite quotes. He always says that always treat your employees the way you want to treat your customers, right? And there's another quote from one of the very great leaders, and he also says the same, like treat the employees if they want to make and if you then treat them very well, then and treat them in such a way that they will make a difference, and you see that difference being made. And I personally have experiences. I just wanted to share before I continue with. This was like year in 2000 where I was just merely a programmer, and I did a mistake, a very big mistake, which I know that is going to cost like 1 day of delay for my company. And I shared with my manager, and he says, "It's okay, Manisha. If I was in your place, I probably would do the same mistake. Sometimes it's okay to do a mistake because then we can think outside the box." I don't know today when I think about it that was it telling me the truth. It doesn't really matter. What matters is that built my confidence that it is okay to do mistakes. And my next projects, my next initiatives, there was a 200% trust and confidence. What he earned from me was my loyalty. And this is the reason I'm sharing this is because you can buy employees' time, you can buy his presence, buy his participation, but we cannot buy the customers, our employees' dedication or commitment or loyalty. These are the things that we have to earn. And customer experience is very much similar to that. I'm heading customer experience in JDID, and when we build customer experience logic and put a better framework to it, it doesn't come out of the air. There's a very organized way of understanding what our customers are thinking. There's a very organized way of knowing that what is the psychology and the behavior behind every transaction for the customers. And then the decisions are being made. And you'll be very surprised that this customer experience pyramid that I'm sharing on the screen actually has been derived from Maslow's hierarchy of human needs. So it's a science of human psychology. Now imagine we are talking about customer experience, which is actually being derived from human psychology of how human behaves. So how about this being applied to our employee experience? Maslow says very clearly that there is a fundamental needs of human beings. There's love, safety, salaries, income, basic wages, security, and confidence. But then above that, once those fundamental needs are satisfied, every human being has a desire to grow as a person. And that desire does not grow from lack of something. It is just a personal, it just stems out of it because your basic needs are completely satisfied. The basic needs of housing and family and everything is completely satisfied. And as you grow, and once this need gets satisfied of having that growth, then that becomes deeper and deeper. And that's why the engagement of employees at this level, this is where the companies are supposed to tap onto the engagement of the employees. And how? Because here Maslow further explains as well, and I'm going to connect this to this customer experiences. It's a very beautiful science actually to it, that our fundamental needs are satisfied, we go into the need of growth. I want to be something, I want to feel acknowledged, I want to look good, I want to feel appreciated for small things I want to do. That's a human need. Now how can organization, this is already there, this behavior is already there. So imagine if your employees already have that desire to grow, and when that desire to grow is there, the characteristics already step out. They start feeling they're more problem centered. They tolerate uncertainty. They are able to look at work, projects, life objectively. They are more creative. They are more concerned about humanity. They are more concerned about social impact. So all these characteristics that as an organization, or typically there is a lot of HR today in the participants, these characteristics that you look for in a candidate, these characteristics already start revealing by themselves just by doing one thing, and that is basically triggering the desire to grow. Now how does this connect back to the employees, or how does this connect back to the fact that it comes from customer experience? And I'll be sharing that a bit of this now. So to do so, first is the DNA of the organization. I'm sorry to say, but a lot of companies, starting from the CEO, starting from the board of directors, it's a DNA of the CEO, DNA of the HR, DNA of the board of directors, the DNA of all the leaders, like myself included, that to look at customer service not as a department, but look at customer service as an attitude. And customer experience becomes a culture. Now, if customer service is an attitude and customer experience is a culture, then how does this reflect into an employees? And so the next thing is really making employee experience and customer experience are same. It's very similar. What is customer's experience? It is basically a perception your customer has about your brand, a perception a customer has about your business. Doesn't your employee feel the same? Employee experience is, what does employee think about your business? What is the perception he carries when he goes home? The customer experience is about ability to know and get to listen to customers, understand them, and try to understand where does this perception get built. Employee experience is pretty much the same. We just have to understand, know, listen, understand where is this perception of the employee that is being built. And the last one, I'm very critical. I always believe in this, and I always follow through this, is consistency. Be it your customers or be it your employees, even if you're doing it wrong, do it consistently as an organization. When you do it consistently, then at some point you will find some patterns and you'll start fixing, you'll find some relevancy, and then you'll make that experience relevant. Then you'll make that experience more timely. Then you'll start understanding. January I had this EMPS, February I had these EMPS, and you start finding the patterns, and you'll be able to come up with some logic behind that analysis or the raw data that comes out of it. But again, I mean, these are still words, right? How do you practically put into and how do you put it to practice, and why would it be important, right? So most important is connecting. As I mentioned, it's really making a connection between employee experience and customer experience. And there's a very nice saying, right? To win in the marketplace, first you need to win in the workplace. And first is to understand why. Of course, I understand EX is same as CX. The human psychology is the same of customers versus the employees. All understood. However, the next important thing is to understand who creates your customer experience strategy. It is your people. It is your employees who creates your employee experience strategy. It is your employees who deliver your customer experience strategy. It is your employees who are most likely your first brand advocates. It is your employees who are going to like or dislike you as a brand, because they are the first word of mouth. They are the first customer, almost like your first customers. So there is no way that if you have unengaged employees and they are going to create engaged customers. So to win in a marketplace, we have to first win in the workplace. Now the next is how, connecting the dots. In customer experience, we generally try to create something called as end-to-end customer experience journey. So we try to understand every interaction the customers has with the platform. I work for JDID, so we are a platform. Every single interaction a customer has with the platform, we try to understand that. What happens at every single touch point. It's the same thing for employee experience. First is to understand what is your employee journey. What happens in the recruitment and hiring process, what goes right, what goes wrong, how do the employees feel about it, conduct service, onboarding process. Maybe for some people the laptop comes in 1 week's time, for some people it's a senior person, the laptop gets done within a 1 hour's time. But is it really fair? Get into the journey, get into the feelings of every single touch point of a touch point on the employees. And that is the first step of connecting the dots of employee experience to CX, is to get a journey done and really analyze that journey. Then comes the second part of the journey, is basically going into the details of understanding what work are they going to do. So the back process of when they are taking up their role is to quantify their influence. What role are they playing? What KPIs do they carry? When they carry those KPIs, does it have direct or indirect impact on your customers or on your clients? It could be B2B business, it could be B2C business. At that point, when the role they are performing and different touch points that they are handling, are they feeling good or bad about it? Do they feel frustrated? Identify those problems at every single touch point and then identify the solutions. And this is how, when you identify the problems, you find the solutions. This is how you correlate your employee experience to customer experience, because at the end of the day, what job they do, it's not just the entire end-to-end journey of hiring and firing, onboarding, appraisals. No, these are one-time things, right? These are one-time things. But every day your employee comes to the job. That touch point at every single day, you will need to, as an organization, I mean, this is just a suggestion, is to find out how they feel about doing that job. And this is how you correlate. Of course, correlation this is just a first step I'm sharing. That it's a very complicated process. It takes time. It is very important to know that it needs to be taken one step at a time. Customer experience itself is not perfect. I mean, I've been doing this for so many years, and I can tell you that no organization wants to make the customer experience end-to-end 100% perfect. It is just technically impossible. You cannot say that there are 200 touch points in a customer experience and I will have every single touch point perfect. It's not possible. There is cost involved in it, there are resources involved in it, there are priorities involved in it. Headquarters would have a different priorities, businesses, departments would have different priorities. There are always going to be different ways of looking at it. But in customer experience, every organization, be it Zappos, be it Amazon, we look at Apple, every organization will take 2 or 3 important touch points and they will make it perfect. And that becomes their brand, that becomes their signature. It's the same in employee experience. When you look at the entire journey, pick 3 or 4 touch points and make it perfect. You don't have to make the entire process perfect, but pick 3 or 4 which you are really good at. That becomes your brand value, that becomes your HR signature for employee experience. So this is just last slide. I really love this. I always like to talk about employee experience by ending this. From Albert Einstein, he always says that don't judge everyone. Everyone is a genius. Every person is perfect here. However, if you expect a fish to go and climb a tree, then the fish is definitely going to fail. So I think I would like to close this presentation with one very strong message that be mindful of finding the potential. It's a very big burden on leaders. EX cannot be, employee experience is not just an HR job. It is everybody's job, especially all the leaders. And be very mindful, because you cannot expect a bus driver and a conductor who are driving for 20 years and the conductor then claims that, hey, I want to be promoted to become a driver. It doesn't happen. So super critical to, before even coming with employee experience, be very mindful of whom you're recruiting, how you're recruiting, and what role you're recruiting. Wrong passenger at a driver's seat and wrong person at a conductor seat is going to just ruin everything. So let's be mindful. This is just a beginning of employee experience, customer experience. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Manisa. It was really great to see the presentation about how you built the journey, yeah, from the beginning of your day. And I like the way you said that it's everyone accountability if you talk about employee experience. Yeah, thank you so much. And I have so many questions, and of course, I think everybody also wants to ask question with you. But hold on, just wait for a bit because we have the second speaker, which is I would like to introduce. I would say perhaps with Mas ya, Mas Yoris ya, but I know is actually Pak Yoris ya. Ini sahabat dan teman baik saya ya, sudah lama kita berkenalan. Pak Yoris ini atau Mas Yoris sangat terkenal ya dengan berbagi bukunya yang menginspirasi banyak generasi muda, generasi milenial. Dan beliau juga saat ini membangun Inspigo ya, Mas Yoris ya. Dan sangat-sangat luar biasa melihat bagaimana Inspigo itu cepat sekali pertumbuhan maupun juga achievement-nya ya. Bapak Ibu, saya perkenalkan Mas Yoris Bastian. Beliau adalah co-founder dari Inspigo dan juga chairman atau CEO dari Oh My God ya, OMG ya Mas ya. Betul ya, saya supaya tidak salah menyebutkan, kadang-kadang pengen menyebutkan singkatan, tapi OMG ya. OMG ini juga banyak melakukan proyek-proyek luar biasa ya Mas Yoris di bidang attractiveness ya, as the one that you like most about the wording ya. Bapak Ibu, Mas Yoris juga mendapatkan penghargaan, tentunya tidak lupa kita di tahun 2006 dari British Council ya, International Young Creative Entrepreneur Award ya. Kemudian juga beliau banyak menghabiskan waktu juga membangun dan memajukan Hard Rock Cafe di Jakarta yang melakukan banyak program inisiatif yang luar biasa. Dan tanpa banyak memperkenalkan lebih banyak lagi, saya izinkan Mas Yoris, go on Mas. We can't wait to see your deck. The stage is yours. Thank you, Mas Yoris.
Thank you, Mas Audi. And maybe we can still chat. My slide will be in English, but since most of the audience is in Bahasa, maybe we will speak in Bahasa ya, Mas Audi ya.
Boleh, Mas. Silakan, Mas.
Ya. Jadi ini adalah beberapa pengalaman saya. Nanti sambil menunggu Dina akan share keynote-nya. Ini adalah beberapa pengalaman saya. Bagaimana creating experience, employee experience sehingga menghasilkan customer experience yang bagus. Walaupun ada beberapa nih Mas Audi dari klien-klien OMG, mungkin saya nggak ceritain di sini, nanti pas saya jawab mungkin bisa, karena ada juga beberapa yang NDA gitu ya. Tapi intinya saya saya pertama kali berkenalan dengan yang namanya employee experience itu pada saat saya bekerja di Hard Rock Cafe gitu kan. Saya baru ngeliat, wah gila ya, ternyata ada sebuah organisasi yang bahkan mendesain employee experience-nya itu dari hiring the right people, gitu ya, hiring the right employee. Ada banyak sebenarnya hal-hal yang kita guidance-nya kita untuk mencari karyawan. Tapi kalau lihat di foto ini, sayangnya saya nggak punya foto waktu zaman saya dulu kerja di Hard Rock. Itu salah satu kerjaan utama para karyawan Hard Rock itu adalah joget, Mas Audi. Jadi kalau dia nggak suka joget, dia nggak suka musik, dia nggak suka dengerin lagu, nggak keterima di Hard Rock Cafe. Dulu awalnya saya nggak ngerti. Next, tapi setelah saya lihat gitu ya, bagaimana ternyata, Hard Rock Cafe itu walaupun memang family restaurant, tapi yang dijual adalah customer experience. Bahkan di salah satu buku namanya Experience Economy dimasukkan gitu Hard Rock Cafe, bahwa bayangin, kalau Hard Rock Cafe nge-charge masuknya, dan itu sudah dilakukan di kami di Hard Rock Cafe di Asia, hampir semuanya. Untuk masuk kita ada experience, bisa lihat di foto gitu ya, bahkan Andi Rif kita gantung di atas gitu setelah selesai jam makan malam. Dan walaupun harga Hard Rock Cafe dari dulu sampai sekarang bisa dibilang premium, tapi orang-orang tuh pada ngantri. Kenapa? Karena experience yang didapatkan di dalam tuh sangat bagus, dan tadi karyawan-karyawan pun sangat menikmati lagu-lagunya, sangat menikmati. Jadi kerja tuh kerasa nggak kerja gitu, tau ya capek, tapi tahu-tahu udah selesai aja pekerjaannya. Next. Dan ini saya lanjut nih Mas Audi nih. Kalau ini pengalaman pada saat saya di OMG gitu ya. Ini ada foto ke beberapa karyawan saya, termasuk Dina nih yang share materi gitu kan. Tapi ini bukan ulang tahun Mas Audi. This is not a birthday party. Jadi
Wow.
karyawan OMG itu setiap ulang tahun dikasih extra day off. Rayakan sama pacar, sama suami, istri, atau sama ayah ibu kalau belum married gitu kan. Extra day off di hari ulang tahun. Ini adalah foto mereka merayakan 1 tahun bekerja di Hard Rock Cafe, 1 tahun bekerja di OMG. Nah, kenapa yang saya rayakan itu pada saat mereka anniversary? Karena kita bisa kilas balik, kita bisa nanya. Dan pada saat saya mendirikan OMG ini, sudah mulai tuh Mas Audi, banyak tren-tren bahwa kerja di satu perusahaan itu sebentar aja.
Ya.
Nggak seperti zaman waktu saya di Hard Rock Cafe. Karyawan saya rata-rata kerja belasan tahun sama saya. Nah, gimana nih cara men-tackle millennials gitu ya, rata-rata karyawan saya millennials semua, supaya mereka tuh tidak putu loncat gitu kan. Nah, saya celebrate sehingga pada saat mereka cerita gitu ya, saya udah sekian tahun bekerja di OMG, teman-teman yang lain yang dengar, dia udah berapa tahun, apa yang seru segala macam. Nah, ini salah satu aja dari begitu banyak hal-hal yang kita lakukan to wow our employees. Supaya apa? Supaya mereka juga bisa wow the client. Next. Ini salah satu juga contohnya gitu ya. Kita sering bikin creative trip untuk kompetisi internal innovation yang diselenggarakan untuk klien-klien kami. Salah satunya ini PGN gitu ya, yang ada di foto. Dulu juga sempat bertahun-tahun dengan Mandiri. Nah, tapi pengalaman saya ke Disneyland itu, saya lihat nggak ada yang pernah foto-foto pakai banner ya, ternyata nggak boleh. Nah, ini salah satu kreativitas, bahkan bukan dari saya, dari karyawan gitu ya, yang punya ide, ya kita bikin aja printan segede A4 gitu ya. Nah, nanti pas di sana kita foto gitu, orang-orang lain lihat, dan saya yakin ini akan ditiru sama tour agent yang membawa kita gitu ya, tapi ya ini, gitu loh. Wow your client in every little things, creating the wow experience itu nggak akan bisa terjadi kalau saya sendiri nggak pernah wow my employees. Jadi memang saya bisa merasakan sekali korelasi antara dua hal tersebut. Next. Dan it's never about the budget. It's about love and creativity. Kita bisa lihat nih, Mas Audi ya, saya biasanya tuh meeting tahunan dengan budget yang sama, nginep di apartemen, sampai malam meetingnya 1 hari, saya bikin twist bareng Dina juga nih. Kebetulan kita waktu itu lagi mau pegang Singapore Tourism Board, jadi semua paspor anak-anak ada di kita. Meeting saya sudahi jam 9 malam, saya bilang sekarang tidur, besok pagi saya jemput, dan Dina udah saya suruh pasang wakernya gitu ya. Pagi-pagi sekali subuh saya jemput karena kita first flight ke Singapura. Meeting tahunan pindah ke Singapura, acara mendadak Singapura, suddenly Singapura. Saya bilang hari ini kita meeting pindah di Singapura, seharian kita akan di Singapura, kita akan meeting jalan-jalan, kita akan makan-makan di Singapura. Budgetnya mirip-mirip kok, makan-makan di Singapura sama makan-makan di Jakarta. Naik pesawatnya juga low cost carrier. It's not about the budget. It's about how you create an experience that never done before. Ini kita lihat pergi ke museum sebentar, meeting lagi, makan di Jamie's Italian, waktu itu belum ada di Bali gitu ya, itu menarik sekali, membanggakan gitu ya buat mereka. Create something to wow the employee, and it's never about the budget. Tentunya saya kalau dikasih budget gede juga senang sih Mas Audi ya, tapi ini saya sengaja buat di materi ini saya kasih yang budgetnya nggak terlalu gede. Next. Sehingga pada saat kita ngerjain project demi project gitu ya, baik project yang sifatnya berhubungan dengan experience maupun seperti ini kita bikin diminta untuk bekerja sama gitu dengan arsitek dan hotel operator bikin konsep hotel di Bali, anak-anak juga bisa creating something that never done before gitu ya. Kita come up dengan sebuah konsep book the whole hotel in Bali. Karena di Bali itu kita lihat nggak ada hotel kecil, ini 78 kamar, that you can book the whole hotel. Jadi misalnya kita bikin acara lain kali ini Mas Odi, kita sama-sama ke Bali, udah nggak pandemi, we book the whole hotel. Tiap pagi, 3 hari 2 malam, breakfast-nya bisa sesuai yang kita mau. Pagi-pagi breakfast, bosnya udah bisa ngomong. Wow, so creative. Ya, thanks untuk anak-anak saya yang memang sudah memberikan ide-ide sehingga itu menjadi sesuatu yang luar biasa. Next. Nah, Kalau di Inspigo lebih susah nih, Mas Aldi. Karyawannya banyak, karyawan 70. Nggak bisa nih saya ajak ke Singapura. Jumlah karyawannya terlalu banyak, ya kan? Tapi tadi, kalau kita ingat, it's never about the budget, it's about love and creativity. Di anak muda, total rata-rata karyawan saya di Inspigo anak muda gitu. Ada sepatu yang ngetren banget namanya Kompas. Itu yang kalau dijual, Mas Aldi, hitungan menit sepatunya habis. Nah, karena kita punya akses, kita juga dari awal, Kompas itu sering kita wawancara di Inspigo. Kita kejutkan mereka bisa lupa 2 tahun yang lalu kalau nggak salah, di year end party kita 2 tahun yang lalu, semua karyawan kan suka bercanda gitu ya, nomor sepatunya berapa, ini beneran kita kasih sepatu tapi logonya Inspigo, eksklusif dari sepatu Kompas. Sepatunya kita beli, nggak gratis, tapi nggak banyak brand di Indonesia yang bisa punya sepatu kerjasama sama Kompas. Nah, itu bangganya anak-anak. Jadi, wow, the employee with whatever budget you have, but remember, gitu ya. Nah, next benar kita lihat ada banyak yang dilakukan sebenarnya. Nah, kalau kita lihat gitu ya, bagaimana pada saat pandemi gitu ya, kalau biasa kita conference ada yang setengah hari, 1 hari, sangat melelahkan. Nah, Inspigo juga sering bikinin conference untuk berbagai klien. In between-nya itu, rehatnya itu kita bikin karaokean. Dan ini sebenarnya adalah terobosan yang sudah kita lakukan sebelumnya di awal-awal pandemi. Nggak ada revenue sama sekali, udah nggak apa-apa, kita bikin sesuatu yang kreatif aja. Bikin IG live, Instagram live, karaoke malam mingguan, tapi nyanyi bareng. Nah, itu kalau tadi sengaja saya kasih lihat videonya, itu bisa Angga Malik akan ngomong gitu, misalnya dia ingat, wah Mas Audi lagi seru banget gini-gini nih, sambil nyanyi gitu ya, Mas Audi mic-nya dibuka, gitu. Jadi Mas Audi bisa nyanyi bareng penyanyi yang sedang kita hire gitu. Jadi event untuk digital experience gitu ya, ini sebuah acara di korporasi yang pesertanya tuh ribuan gitu, tapi kita tetap bisa menghadirkan sesuatu yang lain. Kenapa? Karena tadi staffnya udah biasa mengalami yang namanya wow experience. Sulit karyawan disuruh bikin wow experience kalau dia sendiri nggak pernah wow. Sudah begitu banyak kompetisi internal innovation, kesempatan udah dikasih, tapi karyawannya nggak bisa memikirkan hal-hal yang kreatif. Next. Nah, saya tutup dengan sebuah cerita gitu ya. Bahkan kalau tadi belajar dari Hard Rock Cafe bahwa mereka mendesain employee experience dan sehingga menghasilkan customer experience, juga saya punya satu contoh ini. Beberapa kali saya bawa klien saya untuk creative trip ke sebuah kota yang ada Disneyland-nya, dan kita belajar dari mereka. Dan sama, Disney juga punya pemikiran yang sama, happy employees will create happy customer that will create happy profit. Ini ada cerita di mana seorang accounting dari Disneyland Hong Kong memikirkan bahwa karyawan yang datang ke sana itu ngantri 2 kali. Ngantri naik MRT, nyampe di Disneyland ngantri ngambil uniform. Hampir semua karyawan di Disneyland itu menggunakan uniform. Yang dilakukan adalah dipasang, tadinya pakai barcode gitu satu persatu, dan jadi terjadi antrian lagi. Akhirnya inovasinya sangat sederhana, dipasang RFID di setiap uniform sehingga tinggal ambil seragamnya, keluar, kalau tidak bunyi artinya seragamnya udah benar, sehingga tidak terjadi antrian pada saat pagi. Karena menurut mereka, kalau udah terlalu banyak antrian sebelum bekerja, walaupun tidak kelihatan dalam uniform gitu ya, tapi gesturnya akan kelihatan. Kalau employee tidak happy itu, dia tidak akan bisa melayani dengan happy juga. Jadi saya sangat senang kalau di sini Bapak Ibu sekalian, everybody obsessed with how you can create the best employee experience. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih Mas Yoris, dan luar biasa ya dari tadi cerita mengenai Disneyland ya. Ternyata behavior perilaku karyawan itu kelihatan ya dari mood dan juga perasaannya, dan itu dimulai dengan bagaimana kita melihat employee experience itu sebagai bagian penting dari perusahaan ya Mas. Mas, I'm very sure many people also want to ask you questions. Kita tunggu dulu ya. Nanti kita akan panel discussion bersama-sama. Saya mau memperkenalkan juga pembicara kita yang ketiga. Thank you ya Mas Yoris ya, kita tahan dulu ya nanti. Bapak Ibu, saya mau memperkenalkan pembicara ketiga kita, kalau boleh dibilang terus terang ini adalah guru HR saya ya. Beliau sudah menjadi direktur, posisi direktur 9 perusahaan ya. 3 yang terakhir ini luar biasa karena beliau melakukan banyak transformasi. Saya mau memperkenalkan Bapak Ibu Pak Kus Hartanto Kuswiranto, ya saat ini beliau adalah Presiden Komisaris dari PT Tugu Insurance, ya. Beliau ini juga banyak terlibat dan juga mentransformasi organisasi. Saya rasa satu buku nggak cukup memperkenalkan Pak Kus ya, karena kita sudah kenal beliau dan bahkan achievement-nya juga luar biasa ya, baik itu perusahaan-perusahaan BUMN maupun juga perusahaan-perusahaan yang lain. Bapak Ibu, saya mau mengizinkan Pak Kus untuk sharing kepada kita siang hari ini. Kus Hartanto, monggo Pak, dipersilahkan untuk sharing mengenai materi Bapak. Silakan Pak Kus.
Oke, Pak Odi, terima kasih waktunya. Satu kehormatan ini bisa barengan sama Mas Yoris sama Bu Manis dan tim dari Rocket ya. Saya mencoba menyiapkan materi ini singkat saja, bahwa saya yakin nanti pasti akan diteruskan dengan diskusi ya, Mas Odi ya. Dan itu saya kira seninya dalam kita ingin sharing pada rekan-rekan sekalian dalam waktu yang tidak banyak, karena kita agak susah untuk bisa mengcustomize dari concern atau need dari rekan-rekan yang ikut. Oke, judulnya rada ikutin terinspirasi sama Mas Yoris ini. Kalau tadi di sana creating employee experience and customer experience and that's rock gitu ya. Mungkin ini gaya orang tua ini ya, new living and surviving in the IX and CX gitu. Saya kira tidak bisa dipungkiri kehadiran pandemik yang luar biasa ini. Dulu kita mengenal ada VUCA dan seterusnya gitu ya, tapi ternyata cepat banget gitu kehadirannya. Jadi kalau Audi sering cerita ada we are facing with the 3 storms itu, ini badai generasi karena munculnya milenial dan Z, at the same time munculnya digital, dan at the same time ada badai biologi ini yang namanya COVID-19 dan terus bermutasi sampai sekarang kita punya Omicron ini. Alright, so next slide please. Ini gambar yang nggak tahu nih, saya dapat gambar ini kapan, ya ini sih pantas-pantasnya anak-anak buatin begini, tadi sudah disinggung sama Bung Audi, ini pengalaman saya, pernah di private, pernah di state-owned enterprise, pernah punya bisnis sendiri, dan semoga memberikan manfaat lah di hari tua ini untuk bisa sharing pada rekan-rekan sekalian. Yuk terus. Kalau hari lagi tua begini memang sharing itu is necessary gitu, dan itu menjadi mandatory. Oke, next. Baik, kalau tadi disampaikan oleh dua pembicara, saya setuju bahwa I think we need to leave the old world and then we start living in the new world. So the new life is begun. Kalau di Tugu itu ada namanya connection to get the new life. So let's connect it. Ini bagian dari kredo yang kita buat, let's get connected and then start the new life. Ini mungkin juga terinspirasi dari ngobrol-ngobrol sama Bung Audi. Jadi key improving organization engage itu in the future of work. Teman-teman HR sekarang saya kira isunya terkait dengan pandemi ini bagaimana kita meredesign ya future of work itu, yang nanti berujung kepada mapping, kepada headcount productivity, effectiveness in designing organisasi and also business process. Jadi gambar ini yang di sebelah kiri mungkin sama juga approach yang tadi disampaikan oleh Manisha tadi ya. Karena kita awali selalu dengan know your employee and then know your customer ya. KYE and then KYC. I think there is a mantra gitu ya untuk kita bisa survive the business. Jadi kalau kita lihat gambar di sini itu engagement-nya pasti mulai dari sana. Ini kata Bung Audi, kalau dibilang employee engagement is not exist anymore and probably will be suitable by saying employee employee experience gitu ya. Ini sama lah evolusinya teman-teman ISAR kan gitu nih. Ngomong tentang well motivated, well retained, terus sekarang kita bergeser well engaged and then well experienced. Saya pernah di retail lama, kenapa Audi belanjanya ke toko X tidak ke toko Y? Pasti ada something yang dia mendapatkan experience. Sama juga potong rambut ya. Potong rambut itu saya kira kita jarang ganti-ganti tuh. Ya selalu datangnya ke salon tertentu, capsule tertentu, because we love, because we got something experience di situ. Jadi kalau kita lihat di dalam pola ini, key improving organization yang kita sebut sebagai engage itu kemudian menjadi well experienced organization. Sebelah kanan itu kalau kita tarik ke belakang itu begitu. Tapi saya nggak akan terangkan ini karena ini nanti bisa di-share ya Bang Audi ke rekan-rekan semuanya. Jadi mulai dari engagement, kemudian dari situ kalau kita punya well engaged employee, kemudian kita akan pastikan karyawan itu pasti akan fokus on what matters most gitu ya. Terus naik ke atas dia pasti begitu, dan seterusnya sampai akhirnya kita sebut sebagai well experienced organization. Creating happy customer gitu ya, then finally able to deliver something and then the customer keep repeating transaction with us. Ini saya kira tadi contoh-contoh yang disampaikan oleh Bung Yoris keren banget lah ya. Ya berikutnya at the same time kita juga bisa memastikan bahwa happy employees itu ya pastinya akan pula able to serve the customer. Itu yang tadi Manish tadi quote dari Stephen Covey ya, if you cannot get your customer happy, if you're not able to convince to get your employees also happy gitu ya. Jadi happy ketemu happy itu yang dicari di dalam era sekarang ini. Alright, next. Slide berikutnya ini sebetulnya next slide please. Ya, ini sebetulnya sama juga tadi menjelaskan dari lebih kepada perspektif dari customer karena sekarang ini kata Bung Audi in the 4.0 kemudian ke 5.0 itu intinya adalah tentang humanity. Intinya adalah tentang people, human centric gitu ya. Jadi kalau engaged organisasinya like that, itu kemudian kita bergeser ke sini, ujungnya customer centricity yang merupakan 3 bola-bola bagaimana kita understand the customer kan gitu ya. Kalau yang sebelumnya kita sudah tahu kan, kita akan know your employee and then know your customer. Saya kira kita tetap keep improving ya dalam teori manapun, Kaizen dan seterusnya. Ya, we need to keep improving. Dan feedback itu necessary. Jadi kalau yang di sana itu customer focus leadership, saya kira ini tidak akan pernah bisa ini kotak satu ini adalah empower frontline. Mohon maaf Bapak Ibu sekalian, Audi, kotak yang kosong itu isinya adalah empower frontline. Ini yang tadi mungkin Bung Joris sudah sampaikan kalau kerja di mana tadi di Hard Rock Cafe ya itu mesti di depan kan itu ya dia harus bisa menemani tamu kalaupun harus dance gitu. Ya seterusnya gitu ya. Jadi those three bola ini irisan yang paling penting di tengah adalah bahwa semua menuju kepada customer centricity. Oke, next. Next slide. Alright. Ini saya cerita ini sama dengan pengalaman yang Bung Joris ini. Saya dengan pengalaman yang rada lumayan ya ganti-ganti di perusahaan. Itu sejak 2018 lalu menjadi satu bagian dari tim manajemennya Tugu. Kalau Anda lihat Bapak Ibu sekalian, ini satu bukti saja untuk menunjukkan bahwa apa yang disampaikan oleh Audi di awal tadi, customer experience itu pasti datangnya dari employee experience. Jadi tahun 2018, 19, 2020, 2021 kita punya premium revenue itu dari angka 2T sampai kepada 3 something ya. Jadi growth hampir 40% lah within 3 years. Dan kalau kita lihat di sana dan itu ranking-ranking yang saya ingin ceritakan aja bahwa among di insurance industry kita rankingnya naik terus gitu ya dan sekarang ada di top 3 di general insurance industry. Dan saya bisa claim to Audi that is because of we have a very happy employees. Nah itu gambar di bawah, sebetulnya asik juga sih sekarang ini saya pakai kaos gini ya, jadi kami sering pakai kaos-kaos begini di kantor, fun-fun aja, kita juga sama tim lu gue duduk di pojokan gitu ya, ngopi-ngopi dan seterusnya, dan itu there is no barrier at all. Dan kami merasakan kalaupun ini ada sinyal yang kita tangkap ketika somebody not happy, kami bisa menangkapnya dengan cepat. Jadi kalaupun dibilang up to now itu relatif ya, turnover-nya almost zero tuh. Walaupun ini juga kadang-kadang paradok ya, kalau organisasi itu resignation-nya zero kan juga ini itu isu lagi-lainnya ya, kadang-kadang itu menjadi paradok. Itu produk-produk yang kemudian kita sudah kuatkan dengan kehadirannya, dengan aplikasi-aplikasi ya. Karena kan tadi di awal kami sampaikan in this pandemic market agak tidak mungkin kalau kita tidak menggunakan approach digital atau bagaimana kita menggunakan akses kepada big data dan artificial intelligence dan kehadirannya dengan digital. Saya kira the beauty of those basically we able to monetize that is really big opportunity. T-Drive ini saya ingin pamer ya Odi ya, kita punya relatif dari 6.000 customer base itu just berapa bulan itu sekarang sudah hampir 60.000 dan hampir 100.000. Dan that is because the beauty of digital gitu. T-Drive itu satu produk, ini saya ingin share aja bukan karena produknya ya, tapi cara kita untuk bisa mempenetrasi ini sebagai satu opportunity, that is really the fact base. Itu kita bisa berikan kesempatan download aplikasi, terus kalau kita bisa memonitor the way that you are running your car gitu ya, kalau yang ngedrive car-nya benar nanti bisa dimonetize dapat diskon. Jadi ini juga cara mengeducate para driver. Ini tidak hanya yang pemegang polis, tetapi everybody you can just download that one and then you can start enjoy the application dan kita bisa monitor. Oh ternyata ini di jalan pegang HP, di jalan suka berhenti, dan nanti kita kasih skor audiens semuanya. Dan skor ini kemudian akan bisa digunakan nantinya ketika dia membeli polis dan itu menjadi diskonnya. Dan ini banyak yang akhirnya bisa menyenangkan dan creating the customer experience tentunya. Dan itu one of the solution yang kita bisa dorong ke depan, the existence of digital itu untuk bisa creating an added value, ngomong tentang customer experience. Itu gambar-gambar di bawah. Kami juga karena memang kebetulan the lucky of the company itu almost 70% itu anak-anak muda. Jadi dan kita tahu ya Audi dan Bapak Ibu sekalian, market kita juga I think is now dominated by the young generation. Ya tentunya kita ya suka nggak suka kita sebut sebagai tomorrow people itu ya mesti familiar atau savvy lah dengan the new technology yang digital ini. Itu gambar kalau bisa disampaikan rekan-rekan sekalian, mungkin sama dengan cerita yang tadi disampaikan oleh Bung Yoris ya, Bang Yoris tentang bagaimana creating a happy people, happy employees, and then you finally able to get a happy customer. So the repeat transaction will always be come in. Baik, ini hanya menunjukkan saja itu yang di sana kami namanya call Tia gitu. Ini sebenarnya Tugu Insurance Assistant gitu. Tapi kalau nama Tia, saya kira Odi lebih suka daripada namanya Bambang atau namanya siapa gitu ya. Oke, next. Saya punya slide ini saya dapatnya dari Bang Odi ini. Jadi future customer profile itu seperti ini. Nanti detailnya mungkin Odi bisa terangkan ya, karena terkait dengan ketakutan yang berlebihan, terkait dengan kondisi yang orang itu pengen save, sehingga profiling dengan kondisi ini kita bisa kategorikan profile of our customer. Ini riset ya dari WGNS ya, Odi ya, dan saya kira ini relevan kita gunakan sebagai cara karena we need to know exactly our customer kan, need to know ya KYC customer kita, dan kita harus tahu customer kita itu seperti apa gitu, karena mungkin for the last 5 years customernya beda ya, tentunya cara-cara untuk bisa mendapatkan customer juga perlu cara-cara yang berbeda. Oke, next. Ini juga riset saya coba hampir tutup ini di 2-3 slide terakhirnya. Ini hanya mengkonfirmasi saja dari satu survei ya gitu ya, Audi ya, bahwa ternyata yang namanya the successfulness of customer experience itu tidak bisa dipungkiri dari survei yang dilakukan oleh WGS ini, GNS ini, mengatakan bahwa memang 53% kegagalannya itu ya datangnya dari ini, lack of skill set, knowledge, technology savvy gitu, ya, dan juga data management. Jadi ya mohon maaf rekan-rekan sekalian, tidak bisa dipungkiri kehadiran ini sehingga memaksalah kita untuk equip all our tim gitu ya untuk bisa savvy dengan teknologi, dengan digital dan seterusnya. Ini juga sama tadi kalaupun saya cerita ya pada kasus di perusahaan kami itu marketingnya memang sudah digital banget gitu. Jadi akses saya kira karyawan customer juga lebih aman gitu ya untuk tidak datang secara fisik dan bagaimana menggunakan akses digital yang berujung kepada cara untuk bisa memberikan apa namanya experiencing itu juga dari also another part and then proven itu bisa membuat customer itu engage. Kita nggak boleh ngomong engage lagi ya, ya. Customer itu bisa connected sama kita. Alright, saya kira sudah hampir di ujung. Terus lagi another one page saya kira. Ini lebih kepada summary saja sebelum masuk ke slide terakhir. Thank you. Itu di belakang sana ada beberapa slide, tapi saya kira waktu juga tidak begitu cukup untuk kita bisa sharing banyak. Next please. Ya ini summary saja rekan-rekan sekalian. Kalau ada Pancasila ya summary-nya konon dipas-paskan jumlahnya 5 gitu ya. Jadi saya kira tidak bisa dipungkiri bahwa kehadiran Omikron dan seterusnya itu betul-betul memaksa kita semua untuk bisa menjalankan bisnis itu yang juga tidak hanya well experience dari sisi customer, tapi juga safe experience. Mereka pasti ingin apapun transaksi yang dilakukan dalam model apapun itu safe for everybody. Oke, ya ini satu nih, safe experience. Terus kemudian untuk bisa meningkatkan ini tidak bisa dihindari bahwa cara yang smooth, yang menyenangkan, yang terus keep improving ya. Karena customer experience itu kan juga ada bosennya juga. Jadi kalau kita nggak terus keep improving, keep giving something new, something different, something unique, itu juga yang main kan nggak cuma kita doang ya. Jadi kan there is number of player in the industry. Sehingga kita mesti berlomba-lomba secara kreatif untuk bisa giving something different, something yang pleasantly to the customer. Ini juga sama Bapak Ibu sekalian, saya kira cara untuk bisa kita survive dan menghindarkan dari kebangkrutan ekonomi itu ya tentunya kita harus membuat cara-cara yang cepat. Ya, fast respond. Ya, gitulah cara yang cepat ya tentunya kita menggunakan digital technology. Sambil ini sebetulnya sisi lain sama ya kalau saya kira sekarang kan kita sudah e-signature. Kita proses bisnis itu juga sudah monitor. Sebetulnya awal digital matters itu juga bagian dari kita untuk memonitor gitu. Jadi punctuality-nya itu juga is another part yang kita bisa monitor sudah sampai mana itu barang. Jadi ini juga bagian yang sama-sama di sisi lain ada kompetisi internal bahwa pekerjaan itu prosesnya sudah sampai di mana. Kemudian ketika itu di-deliver menjadi satu outcome, menjadi satu deliverable, menjadi satu produk, menjadi satu services di depan customer, itu juga something yang created gitu ya, by well experienced employee. EX-nya jalan gitu. Dan kalau begitu jalan, mohon maaf ya, customer itu akan tahu bahwa produk yang saya dapatkan ini, jasa saya dapatkan itu bahwa created from internal side yang happy people di sana gitu. Dan itu something yang saya kira bisa membedakan beli produk A dan B itu because the way in creating the product itu different. Ya, alright. Ini yang nomor 4 saya kira istilah lama ya sebagai penutup ini caring leadership. Banyak contoh dan saya kira creativity kita memimpin perusahaan di era pandemi itu tidak bisa dengan cara-cara yang biasa. Kita mesti harus dengan cara-cara yang kreatif. Cara-cara yang menunjukkan kita care gitu. Makanya tadi contoh yang disampaikan oleh Bang Yoris yang birthday dikasih day off gitu ya. There is also another yang itu sangat impactful tentunya in the existence of employees. Baik, yang terakhir saya kira Audi dan rekan-rekan sekalian dan teman-teman panelis, create a happy environment tidak bisa dipungkiri sebagai satu cara to make our employee to happy, dan at the end of the day they able to deliver the best experience to our customer. Saya kira gitu aja. Semoga tidak lebih dari waktu yang sudah dialokasikan. Sukses selalu untuk teman-teman semua, sukses selalu untuk Engage Rocket, dan salam sehat selalu. Demikian, terima kasih. I leave it back to you, Audi.
Salam sehat, terima kasih Pak Kus. Saya rasa ya sebenarnya kita perlu waktu 3 jam untuk membedah employee experience dan customer service. Tapi terima kasih loh Pak, ini luar biasa. Bapak menggabungkan dan menjahit dengan baik ya. Bagaimana kita melihat perjalanan customer experience itu dimulai dari employee experience. Before we go to panel discussion, I would like to invite, including Pak Kus, Ibu Manisa, and Mas Yoris, we're gonna have a photo session. Yeah, together all the speakers. Maybe Marie or Fiona can help. We want to do a photo session before we come to the panel discussion.
Yang penting ini, kalau sudah foto selesai saya kira acara ini. Gitu ya, Pak Yoris ya.
Okay. Hold on. Let me make all of you a spotlight ya. Hold on, Pak. Ya, wait. Anissa, are you there?
1 sec. Yes.
Here you go. Okay. It's a photo session. And hold on ya.
Oke, saya ambil foto juga ya.
So let's take a picture ya. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. I hope the team can take the picture together. So let's start the discussion. This is very interesting. You know what? I feel like we need to have a second webinar, yeah. To be honest, yeah, considering the whole journey, because we are on the right time in the beginning of the year, yeah. We are now in February, and everybody's talking about, well, to be honest, yeah, it's all about the COVID-19 new variant, yeah, and it's still the biggest problem at the moment in any organization. But I want to ask questions, mungkin in the beginning to Pak Kus, ya Pak, because you just shared about the relation between the employee experience with the Engage organization, yeah. Pak, in the beginning of the year, how do you think we can create what we can say employee experience as a strategy, Pak, that differentiate organization with the rest, Pak? Based on your experience, Pak, because you've been in many organizations, you've been around with a local, state-owned enterprise, multinational. What matter most, Pak? Kira-kira boleh di-sharing nggak, Pak Kus?
Yeah, so I think everything is similar. Yeah, if we able to refer to the HR practices, right? I think the formula is still same, but HR is always very smart to create the new term, right? Start from training and then now becoming a learning. From well-motivated employees, it's now becoming, it's not simply about the engagement, but now it's the employee experience. Kan gitu Pak Yoris. So this is really creative. That is the idea coming from you, from OMG, I guess. So at the front, I think we also realize that there is number of HR track section, HR practice, HR guidance. But again, Audi, I think we have ever discussed about know your employees that finally able to deliver because we also know about the know your customer. Nah, untuk bisa membuat karyawan yang bisa pada akhirnya membedakan organisasi kita dengan organisasi lain, I think the substansinya itu adalah orang. Kalau teknologi, itu ya Pak Yoris dan Asumanis, technology or policy or everything can be purchased, can be procured. People can also be hired or hijacked. but the essence of people around with us is supposed to be different with your people in the other organization. So at the front, when we try to hire people, ya itu mesti dicocokkan. The series of recruitment, saya kira ini sama ya dengan tempatnya Bang Yoris ya. Jadi series of recruitment itu mesti cocok agar dia punya purpose gitu ya, Udi ya. Purpose-nya dia, where you are here, where the organization exists, itu mesti cocok dengan yang kita akan dapatkan dari personel ini. This is really important. Makanya kita sering mengatakan bahwa mohon maaf sekali lagi ya, number of unemployment-nya tinggi. Ya sebetulnya banyak tersedia di labor market ya. Tetapi yang sesuai, yang match gitu ya, Odi ya, dengan kebutuhan organisasi itu yang kemudian terjadi kelangkaan. Sehingga proses rekrutmen yang akhirnya bisa mencocokkan filosofi, purpose, culture of the company itu ya kita mesti dapat. Saya punya pengalaman dulu waktu bantu Starbucks. Starbucks itu baristanya in terms of salary itu enggak gede-gede amat itu. Tetapi the happiness of those barista in serving to the customer, Anda lihat deh, baristanya Starbucks itu nggak ada yang wajahnya do gitu. Ya, wajahnya pasti gitu. Dan saya ajar kepada mereka ya you have to keep smiling gitu. Sama waktu di industri di fashion juga begitu ya. Fashion yang depannya Z itu juga sama. Jadi baik lagi Audi to make it short, saya kira kata kuncinya dimulai dengan proses rekrutmen yang benar. So well hired based on the purpose of the company that we have, then well developed, right? Then we able to create them to get well experienced within the organization. Sampai di sini itu the existence of leader is really critical. Ya, dan itu leader from the top, middle sampai di bawah itu mesti sama itu. Have to have the same view in dealing with people. Sehingga kalau yang di dalam ini sudah, saya kira teorinya Manis, you mentioned is something that's really correct. I agree with you. The statement from Stephen Covey, right? To get your people happy first, and then you will get as well your customer also happy. Saya kira gitu, Odi. Jadi saya kira tidak ada ilmu yang baru as long as the process in putting the ISA practices in place, I believe that you will get it.
Thank you, Pak Kus. It's a very good statement. And let me continue to address these questions to Manisa and also to Yoris. Yeah. As companies set their target for 2022, especially beginning of the year, yeah, you know, usually productivity, customer satisfaction become critical variables, yeah. However, in the post-pandemic world, we hope that this COVID is going to end soon. It won't just be a customer experience, yeah. I mean, you guys see how the company's success is not only customer experience, but also the growing importance of the employee engagement, yeah. So, based on your observation in the beginning of the year, yeah, to Manisa and also Mas Yoris, yeah, what are your thoughts on the challenges that limit employee engagement or retention that they can perform a good and strong customer experience? Maybe can start from Manisa and then Mas Yoris, monggo ya Mas, nanti ya.
Thank you, Pak, for the question. I think it's a very relevant question. From my personal opinion and personal experience also, I think having a fair idea of capability and potential of a person, because during the COVID time, there is budget issue, there is resources issue, there are a lot of constraints on different areas and different aspects and different pillars of the business, right? So I've seen many organizations where employees are put on rolling basis, or they are asked to do something which they don't enjoy. Sometimes it can get monotonous as well. So first biggest challenge I see is having a fair capability of the potential of a person. And second challenge I would say is the follow-up challenge is the leaders having a strong grip on knowing the potential of the person, because a lot of leaders are so busy managing the hurdles of pandemic that they forget that there is a bigger aspect is the person, the people in their teams. So knowing and getting a grip of the potential of the person. So as I mentioned Albert Einstein's quote, right, that everybody is a genius, but then you don't judge a ability of a fish by asking him or her to climb a tree. So knowing that is a very big challenge in the pandemic situation because constraints are big. I think, and the second would be is the businesses have limited budget, limited tools, limited resources. So it's like HR carrying all the burden. I find it a bit strange, but as I mentioned before, EX is it's not HR's just sole alone the responsibility of proprietorship. It's every leader has to carry that burden, and every leader has to contribute that. And I think these two challenges, if they are addressed, I think there's a much bigger success for organizations laid ahead.
Thank you, Manisa. Mas Yoris?
Yeah. In addition to that, maybe like I want to add about like how the company starting the year, although there's a possibility this year the pandemic will be over, but I mean like we are still in the pandemic. A lot of companies now back to work from home. Try as much as possible with the same budget, and of course maybe some of the companies the budget still go down, but try like in the beginning the three of us always speak the same language, like know your employees. Like I recall like 2 years ago when the pandemic just started, I was called by one of the biggest startup digital in Indonesia, and then they asked me to review a book. A book will be chosen by the employees, but because their employees is mostly stay in the kos-kosan, stay in like what you call it in English. They stay alone, you know, like they got so lonely during the pandemic because they cannot go back home, and then they are alone. So during the lunchtime, this is the company also is like Southeast Asia, I think. So I have to present in English. So we review one book, that a new book chosen by the employee, and then like, wow, I said, yeah, this is like during their lunchtime, because at 1 they already have a lot of Zoom meeting and everything. So try to do something like that. Like for me at OMG, the new employee, because I cannot meet them in person, we give a bottle of tumbler with the name, you know, a lot of small stuff that really can engage with them. Even now with the social media, you know, Inspigo have the bingo, so we are back at home again, but then we play like bingo, what you do today in Inspi Squad, you know, like so try to do that while seeing either whether at the end of the year or middle of the year the pandemic will become endemic. But the basic, like Pak Kus say, the basic is the same. You know, we need to engage. We need to make sure the staff really. And I also like the point from Manisha just now. Like, you cannot buy the dedication, you cannot buy the commitment, you cannot buy the loyalty. But if they see that we are obsessed, we are keep on trying to do things like eating together with Zoom, but then it's very hard, you know, to order one by one to one house, and then but we do it together. They appreciate the effort, so you will get that dedication, the commitment, the loyalty. So I think that's very important to start with for this year. Although get ready for the offline activities again, like suddenly Singapore again, I don't know. But of course, maybe I will do like creative trip to Labuan Bajo. You know, like a lot of things can be done. Last year we do annual meeting in Bali, you know, so we move around. But yeah, I mean, we have some limitation because of also the pandemic is still here.
Yeah, thank you, Mas Yoris. I remember one time you mentioned that I follow your Instagram, yeah, that you have some experience of coming to hotel, yeah, coming to an event, offline event. This is a new experience for you as well, yeah, and it's kind of a different situation, yeah. Okay. So I have questions also again to Manisa, and also perhaps maybe for the three of you guys, yeah, including Pak Kus, ya Pak, mohon izin. So the question would be, COVID-19 has made a lot of organization definitely change the model of business operation, the strategy and everything, approaches, and then a lot of things, yeah. So now we are, I would say, in the age of the post recovery, yeah, of all of this situation, yeah, where we can see there's still a threat of the new variant, yeah. But if you can advise to all of the participants today attending this event, what would be the best strategy that everyone here can do, no matter what is their position, yeah, what is their role, yeah, what kind of the best advice you can tell to our participant, how to start the EX strategy first, simple, and get buy-in from all the organization. What matter most, yeah? I mean, we cannot say all organizations are the same, yeah, but based on your experience, what simple thing we can do to initiate employee experience? Monggo, please, Pak Kus, Manisa, or Mas Yoris mungkin. Anything simple and practical we can start to do the employee experience in our organization.
Yeah, I think Manisha first. Ladies first.
I think, Pak, I would apply the same formula that I apply for my customers. Like when I started with CX, the first thing was to know your CX. What is the journey that they go through? So first thing, if I'm in the doing the EX and trying to improve it, first is to know and listen and understand. And to do so, you can't just go ahead out and conduct surveys, right? It will be like, oh, what the hell? Why is the HR coming and asking so many questions? Sometimes it can send a very wrong message as well to the employees. So the most important is create. I mean, it may seem a lot of work, but drafting a journey of your employees. It's very simple as that. How is your hiring process? How is your onboarding process? How is your salary appraisals process? All the different processes, and then say that, okay, which is the one which I want to improve in this quarter. We can't improve everything. As I said, even in customer experience journey, we can't improve everything. There cannot be a perfect journey. So just pick. First is create a journey plan, like all the touch points that your employee has with your organization, and then pick one or two for that quarter, and then come up with a plan to improve that. That is so important. And to do so, most important is be flexible, be very consistent, and be very persistent. If you do it regularly for one whole year, it may feel that you're not getting anywhere, but you will have enough information by 2020 to 2022 end to say that, okay, now I get to know what my employees are thinking. I know where I'm sinking, where my people are sinking, and let's fix one. Let's pick one for them, and that's how you build your strategy. It's technically impossible to have one strategy on day one and they say, okay, let's start running. Cannot. We have to have, be it sports or building any organization, you step back and first understand what's happening. And to understand, creating a journey map, end-to-end journey map is super critical. As I said, even to understand customers, we step back and understand that. And it's the same formula has to be applied for employees. At the end of the day, you want to know the psychology of the business and the people.
Thank you, Manisa. Mas Yoris atau mungkin Pak Kus duluan? Monggo, Pak.
Yang muda dulu deh.
Ya. Okay. Sebenarnya tadi I already explained a little bit, but maybe for everyone, any position, right, Mas Audi, like see how can you do differently with the same budget, with the same approach to your employee, but we have to move from being kind. I think every audience here is already do a lot of kind things before pandemic, during pandemic, with their budget and position. But try, if you notice my example in my presentation, try also to move it to the meaning maker, like how you create meaning. Like when I give one extra day off during the birthday, that's only for my employee at OMG, because my employee is only 5, right? At Inspigo, my employee is 70. I cannot do that, right? So the simple thing is like, how can you do it? But it's beyond kind. It's the meaning maker. When I create it like that, it's different. They can flexing, they can brag it to the other employees, but then they see the meaning that I really respect their birthday to be with the family. But for the service, every 1 year, if you see the 5 picture, the longer you work with me, the more expensive the restaurant that I take you, the more expensive the food that we eat. So that's also giving meaning to them. Like, I really appreciate your long service, because for the millennials, or now some of the generation Z already started working, for them it's a trend to keep on moving around from one company to another. So moving from the same kindness, moving to the meaning maker, to create meaning to them, so you will get their dedication, their commitment, their loyalty. In every position, I believe you can do one simple thing.
Oke, thank you Mas Yoris. Pak Kus.
Ya, saya kira quick win-nya ya, talking about the something that probably can be directly be able to get it something itu, ini formulanya kan gini ya, employee experience itu sama dengan equal with the customer experience. Kita tunjuk employee experience plus customer experience, and then the company will be much more sustained, and then shareholder happy, owner happy. Employee experience itu kan substansinya kan adalah bagaimana membuat your employees able to keep delivering the standard product and services. Jadi konsistensi dari employees itu ya, untuk tetap keep delivering a certain product or services according to the produk yang standar yang diberikan, itu supposed to be managed. Ini ngomong tentang leadership nih. Jadi mohon maaf, para leader tentunya juga harus bisa shifting, gitu ya, Pak Yoris ya, and also Manisha need to shift with the new way in leading people. Ini zaman talking about the pandemic sama non-pandemic, tentunya sekarang kita talking about the caring leader. Jadi leader itu supposed to be mingle, supposed to be close with your own troops. Sehingga ini berarti employee experience dapat, dan kemudian masuk ke customer experience. When they are able to deliver standardized product and services, pasti itu keep repeating, keep buying itu customer itu. Nah, on top of this, itu bungkusannya pasti tidak bisa dihindarkan with the presence of digital, ya, with the presence of high technology. Itu pasti kan ya, karena orang juga pasti pada akhirnya tidak ingin experience-nya itu terganggu. On top of this, yang tadi diterangkan Audi di awal, I think you can also leverage the existence of employee opinion survey. Survey yang dilakukan oleh Engage Rocket misalnya. Jadi survei, ini aku bukan berarti jadi salesman yang Engage Rocket ya, ini to pay commission to me.
Thank you, Pak Kus.
Survei bisa dilakukan sehingga karyawan itu maunya apa. Saya kira kita punya pengalaman banyak ya Pak Yoris dan also Manisha in conducting employee opinion survey. Nah, yang model-model baru yang melibatkan empowerment and also employee experience atau respondent experience itu yang pasti akan selalu dicari oleh karyawan. Nah, contoh nih, misalnya nih, ini kan bulan depan mau THR, benar ya? Lebarannya kapan ya?
Ini Pak, puasa April Pak.
Puasa April ya. Nah, jadi survei itu ya mesti dilakukan biasanya kan untuk jaga skor gitu ya, dilakukan istilahkan gitu ya Pak Yoris ya. To pay everything and then bonus dibayar, THR dibayar gitu kan. Pasti hasilnya bagus tuh, surveinya pasti skornya tinggi. Which is bagi orang HR itu KPI-nya achieve. But in the other way around, kita juga pengen lihat sebetulnya the essence about the substance of people expectation itu apa. Wah ini Audi nih, gue jadi ikut jualan ini. Kalau if you able to make it at the front, katakanlah bulan depan, minggu depan, and then you will know exactly apa yang jadi ekspektasi dari karyawan Anda. Ternyata mereka nanti jawabannya menarik. Wah aku nggak butuh THR kok. Aku cuma pengen sepatu yang tadi Pak Yuri sampaikan gitu ya. Saya pengen lunch bareng sama CEO saya. Ya, kadang itu again lah kita mesti kreatif tadi bagaimana cara membuat employee experience itu akhirnya bisa memberikan customer experience. Dan itu di tim kami di Tugu dilakukan itu cara-cara gitu yang it's not about the money, tapi cara kita yang bisa kreatif untuk bisa encouraging the heart, that is something yang will be special.
Terima kasih, Bagus, Mas Yoris, Manisa, thank you so much. I just want to pick one question from the audience. I know there's a lot of questions. Yeah, we'll be mindful with the time. Everyone who can also directly to ask question to Bagus and Mas Yoris, yeah, and Manisa, yeah. Maybe later on by email, yeah. But I just want to pick one good questions. You know, among all of these questions, I think I want to pick up the question from Natasha Emanuela, yeah. Yeah, about the same experience, yeah, the best one, and also to be the right target to all employee. What would be, how would we gonna do to create the best experience with various generation, yeah? Because, you know, in the office, I think now we have, correct me if I'm wrong, yeah, Bagus, 5 generation, yeah, in the office, or maybe 4 already, yeah, at the moment, yeah. So how can we set the standard, yeah, the same experience, yeah, to all of our employee? Maybe from Bagus, Mas Yoris, and Manisa can share. This is a very good question. I think I want to pick up from Manisa. And Manisa, you will get the free book from Rumah MSDM because I think you have addressed a good questions. Yeah, please, Bagus, Manisa, and Mas Yoris.
Ya, silakan Pak Yoris, saya belakang aja.
I think that's not fair, Bagus. Now it should be you first.
All right. I can share with you, yeah, when I was in an oil and gas company, I'm trying to avoid to use millennial or zillennial. I try to call tomorrow people. Because no matter who you are old or young, as long as you have a spirit for tomorrow, you are tomorrow people. Nah, that is something to classify instead of putting somebody, oh, you muda, you tua, itu something that we need to avoid kan gitu ya. Jadi creating something as a tomorrow people instead of keep saying you are millennial, you are zillennial and something, so you are colonial or something, itu sudah pagi-pagi creating dichotomy, menciptakan boxes ya among the organization gitu. Because I believe that the diversity of generation in the company is exists, right, Mas Yoris? Ada yang muda, ada yang tua, ya. But again, Audi, to make it short, I think the existence of leader, that is the key. Ya, jadi bagaimana leader itu tetap bisa eksis dimanapun dia bisa dealing with young or old or setengah gitu ya. That is critical. Sehingga di tim kami ada, ini pada ikut nih, teman-teman Tugu pada ikut nih, Pak Audi, ada CEO kami, ada Pak Indra, Pak Maruli, all the halo Tuguers.
Selamat sore, Bapak Ibu manajemen.
Cukup kreatif bagaimana keep close dengan employees-nya. Oke, itu aja sama event-event kali ya. Kita mesti aktif creating an event yang able to attract and attended by multiple or diversity of generation. Dan kita open chance. Kadang-kadang penyakitnya leader itu is not willing to listen. Listening skill-nya rendah gitu ya. Dan again, listening skill is really important for everyone. Start listening and then pay respect. Build the rapport that really serious in listening your concern, your complaint. Kadang-kadang mereka didengerin aja sudah cukup happy kok, Audi. Ya, and then kita serius, oke, silakan apa masalahmu, terus kita bersungguh-sungguh, sincere, listening, what is actually your problem, then it's work.
Siap, terima kasih Bagus. Mas Yoris, Manisa?
Yeah. In addition to that, I do agree leaders should listen, and I do it even during my time at the Hard Rock Cafe. I have a lot of employees, Jakarta and Bali, different majority of religion as well. So we keep on doing survey, plus also talking to them. But maybe in addition to that, I want to share the story that how the leader obsessed to answer all the requests. For example, at Hard Rock Cafe, when I asked about supper, because for me, I see like almost every night the supper is not finished. It's a waste, right? So I asked everyone. And then the number one request is they want to eat barbecue beef ribs, which is very expensive. And my kitchen manager say, "Wow, Yoris, cannot. I say, can. How can you say cannot? I said, yeah, can. We give, supper is 365 nights. In every year, we give 4 times. 4 times they can eat ribs. We put it on the supper menu. So we play with the right budget. I don't say like you eat ribs every week, but you eat every quarter. I still can do it. So I mean, like, listening, yes, and then how can we be creative to answer that? But to answer to that question is like very hard, different generation, right? And then I also agree with Pak Kus that we cannot, some people from like baby boomers, they still also like to do some sports. So we cannot say like they don't like sports anymore, they don't like music anymore. So we do the survey, even in my current company, I always do the survey, including like if we talk about great resignation, the trend in America, I asked them already actually before the pandemic, like, do you still like to go to the office or not? Because if we don't go to the office, me as the owner, I save a lot of money. But we need to do socialization, right? So how can we work productively? And then it's not all the employee will say that they prefer work from home. Some employee, they can work if they go to the office, because at home, there are so many distractions. So we have to do the survey, but then how we listen and how we react to that, the survey. And this is actually including like, even the company, like from the hospital that now I'm helping, before I'm helping the cement company. So it's like very, very, very challenging, but I really like it.
Thank you so much, Mas Yoris and Manisa.
I think most of it Pak Kus and Pak Yoris has covered, but I personally think that with COVID, this gap of millionaires experience or Generation Z experience doesn't really exist, because COVID has taught the older generation that work from home is possible, and COVID has taught the younger generation that the importance of socialization, being with people. So I think with COVID in last 2 years, all the generations have come to an understanding that things can be flexible. So everybody wants a good work-life balance. I don't know that any older generation versus a younger generation doesn't want that, right? Would not say no, right? Everybody wants to socialize, have make friends at office place, facilitate collaboration. Everybody wants to have flexibility in transport or communication, right? or telecommunicating, basically. Everybody wants, be it older generation or younger generation, nobody wants to do monotonous job nowadays. I mean, older times, yes, I remember during my dad's time, like you ask 9 to 5, you ask them to do one Excel file, one line copy to that file 1 million times, they would do that. But ask people now who are still 70 and 80 years old, and they would not want to do that, right? So things have changed. I mean, when it comes to experience, I think with COVID, the help of COVID, the gap has reduced a lot. Everybody is willing to be flexible, everybody is willing to strike a balance. So, and companies are equally willing to. I mean, there are so many organizations who would never allowed work from home, but now even they are willing to say that, okay, as long as work gets done and the results are there, why not, right? So I personally feel, in my opinion, that the gap has reduced a lot. So that question should not really arise. In fact, there's more collaborative way and frictionless way of working together.
Thank you so much. So I think this is a very good webinar, really good to listen about your opinion, Manisa, and also masukan dari Mas Yoris, and including also experience from Pak Kus. So allow me to wrap up. Next slide, please. Yeah. Oh, by the way, to everyone who joined our event today, this is a very good opportunity for you, for everyone here, to understand about your employee experience. And from Engage Rocket, I would like to inform that everyone here can get a complimentary offer. Yeah, this is very good actually. 45 minutes guided session. How you can build your employee experience and improve your customer experience, including employee experience diagnostic, want to know about the maturity of your employee experience, and including the ROE analysis. And all of these are free and complimentary. So I think just now there is a pool, yeah. You can directly put it here, yeah, into, I think everyone have a mobile phone at the moment with the one with QR code, yeah. Just tap your phone in front of your laptop, your notebook, and you can go directly, yeah. So there's a poll here. If you want to get information about this offer, just say yes, yeah. So we are looking forward to joining and coming and explaining about employee experience to your place, yeah. Thank you so much. And I want to wrap up this webinar with few things that I put on my notes. So number one, taking this from your deck, Manisa, yeah, I want to say that, you know, building employee experience and CX, we need to quantifying the influence of employee experience, yeah, and not only just customer relationship, but loyalty and business result. And again, I like the way that you mentioned engaging employee with brand through internal communication campaign, yeah. And also from Mas Yoris' presentation and deck, designing employee experience actually start from the beginning, yeah, which is the recruitment process, yeah, hiring the right employee, yeah, and usually it fits to your company culture, yeah. And in this session, we also understand that again we are being reframed about happy employee that will create happy customer, and by the end will create happy profit, yeah. And also one of the things that we cannot neglect during our session today is about engage organization which drive customer-centric organization. This is something that Pak Kus explained today, yeah. And I like the way Pak Kus mentioning about caring leadership. Even we heard this a lot, but it's still meaningful at the moment, yeah. Showing empathy, yeah, showing how you give attention to your employee, yeah, even when they are still struggling on adjusting the way of working, and how to get productive in whatever challenges that we have in this pandemic, yeah. So caring leadership has capability to energize, empower, and connect, which has everything to do with agile leadership. And again, the last one that I like the most is creating happy environment for your employee so they can perform happy customer, yeah, transform happy customer. But by the end of the day, it's all about a good performance. So it's not only just happy employee, but we also need to build a high productive organization. Bapak Ibu, terima kasih sudah hadir bersama-sama kami. I want to say thank you so much, a big appreciation to Pak Kus Hartanto, Mas Yoris, and also Manisa. Yeah, in this opportunity, I want to give digital certification, yeah, to all the speaker. This is all in the screen, ya Pak Kus, Pak Yoris, and Manisa.
Thank you, thank you.
Don't worry, physically we will send to you. Yeah.
Terima kasih.
This is just by screen, yeah. But don't worry, we will share with you, and we will send to you the certificate. So last but not least, yeah, I think there's another slide, yeah. So thank you so much. Whatever questions and including the recording of this session, we are inviting you to join a special group. We call it Human Experience Solution WhatsApp group, where we can learn a lot of things about human experience, including if you want to see again the recording of this session and some material from all the panelists. Go ahead, Bapak Ibu, silakan langsung bergabung di grup ini, dan setiap hari grup ini akan kita sharing mengenai informasi berkaitan dengan employee experience maupun juga dengan customer experience. Again, once more, I'm so delighted and blessed to have all the distinguished speakers, Pak Kus Hartanto, kemudian Mas Yori Sebastian, dan juga Ibu Manisha Busal, joining with us, and thank you so much for all your inputs, your sharing, and everything. On behalf of Engage Rocket, I want to say thank you so much for your participation and everyone joining our webinar.